Welcome to the Creative Wandering Duo with Dave and SandraZ-FiberArtist. Hi everyone. This is how I do up my tomatoes when I have too many in the fall and they start getting away from me. Is I just wash them, put them into a bag and freeze them, skin on. When you take them out of the freezer, put them under warm water. I put gloves on because they are cold. You can, if you've got tough hands, you can do this with your naked hand. But anyway, those I have to protect my hands from the cold, so I wear gloves. And under the warm water, the skin just peels off so nicely. Sped it up a little bit here so you don't have to watch it for too long. And I hadn't taken out any meat for lunch, so this is my go-to recipe. I have no idea what the name of it approximately is, but my steak is froze solid. And this makes a very tender steak. Here I'm just spraying my roaster with oil. And I plop that steak right in the bottom. Put the tomatoes on top. You don't need to add any moisture because with the moisture that's in the steak and the moisture that's in the tomatoes, it creates a lot of moisture for that steak to cook in. And I finished cleaning up the tomatoes. Like some of them have a little bit of skin left, or they've got the pollination part or the stem on the top, wrinkles, whatever, that need to be cleaned. And I just take a knife and clean those up. And add them to the roaster. This one's being a little bit stubborn. That's the stem side. But even though it's frozen, that just carves out of there very nicely. As you can see. I really don't have a recipe for this. I've made it so many times that I just kind of throw it all together. I'm adding a medium-sized onion. I'm going to peel it up and cut it into chunks. I don't know, it's medium for me. Maybe it's large for others. But I just cut it into chunks like that. Here I'm adding garlic powder, approximately half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. This is pepper, about the same, about half a teaspoon. It looks like a lot when you just shake it in like that. And the salt is about a teaspoon of salt. And then the Worcestershire sauce, it's about a tablespoon of it. And you can add more after it's cooked if it doesn't have enough taste. You can add more to it. Put the lid on the roaster and you pop it into a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven. And we're going to have baked potatoes with this. I've got the oven on anyway, so I'm going to do up the potatoes. Now these potatoes have been washed and scrubbed, and I like cutting them like this. And now you just add olive oil to the skins. And by doing this, the skins get crispier. You can add more olive oil, brush more olive oil on midway for cooking, and they really get crispy then. But I just do it once. You'd think there was enough if you look at my hands, but not quite. Need a little bit more. And just add these to the oven right beside the roaster. They'll be cooked in an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. Again, it's a 350 degree Fahrenheit oven. And there you have it. A well done steak that is tender. Salad ready for lunch. Doesn't that look yummy?
So,
Have you tasted the steak?
not yet. Still trying to get it ready.
It's warm.
Only when you touch it with the bare skin.
The potatoes done with the oil gives them a really nice crisp on the outside. And I like mine with sour cream. And Dave likes his with butter.
Please.
And the steak,
It's
Well-
right there.
this is, when you've forgotten to take meat out, this is my go-to recipe. I don't know, Salisbury steak or something similar to that's what it is.
Something like that, yeah.
But the recipe is kind of out of my head, as you saw. Cooking like my grandma did.
I imagine it's going to be great like everything else you cook. Mm-hmm.
It's good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought so too. Nice and tender. Nice and tender. Anyway, thank you for joining us, or joining me in the kitchen.
And me at the dinner table, at the lunch table, yeah, lunch.
Yeah. And have a good day. The potatoes are warm. Just a little bit.
Touching bare skin again.
That is one thing. They do come out of the oven very, very hot, but they are
They
good.
seem to hold the heat inside better too.
Yeah, with the oiled skin. They're a little bit crispier on the skin is crispier,
Yeah.
and but they're really good. So anyway, I put it in the oven for the potatoes and the steak for about an hour and 45 minutes or so, and that steak was froze solid, as you saw. So,
Oh, it was a
oh yeah, it was
Okay.
a hard one. So, anyway, stay real.
and do all the stuff, you know, all the stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Bye for now.
Bye for now.